Hello students, today we will discuss the topic motion and its type. So to understand the types of motion, first of all we have to understand what is rest state and what is motion state. So we will start our topic with the subtopic motion and rest. First, what is motion is? When a object or a body change its position with respect to time and to its surrounding, then we call it as in motion. So we can understand this with an example. Suppose a person is moving or walking, then he is changing its position time to time with respect to its surrounding. So a car moving on a road is changing its position with respect to time and its surrounding. Now what is rest? An object is said to be in a rest state if it does not change its position with respect to time and surrounding. So you find many objects in your house or in your class that are stationary or that are in rest state, like sofa, chair, table, blackboard. They are at their own position and are not changing their position with respect to time. Therefore they are said to be in rest state. So what is surrounding, or basically the frame of reference? The frame of reference is another object or scene with respect to which we compare our object's position. Means it is said to be as a reference point. It can be a scene or it can be an position, according to which we observe that the other object is moving or not. It is known as frame of reference. Basically, in physics, everything is considered to be a point object. Now, you can see the example given in this slide, where you are able to see that there are two figures, figure number 1 and figure number 2. In the figure number 1, you will find that the car is on right side of the tree, where there is car on the right side of the tree, and in figure number 2 the car is on the left side of the tree. The second figure is after 2 seconds of first figure. Therefore we can say that tree as a frame of reference, because as tree does not move, the car must have moved from one point to another. Therefore the tree is considered to be as a frame of reference and car as in moving state. So the car is said to be in motion, whereas tree can called be as in rest state. So now we are moving further with the types of motion. There are basically three types of motion. First is translatory motion, which is further divided into two categories, that is rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. The second type of motion is rotatory motion and third is vibratory motion. Now we first understand what is translatory motion. In translatory motion, the particle moves from one point in space to another. That means the object or the body, which is made up of particles or a single particle, when moved from one point to another in space, then it is known as translatory motion. Translatory motion can be happen in two different categories, that is either in a straight line or in curved path. When the translatory motion occur in straight line path, then this motion is further known as rectilinear motion. We can take an example where a car is moving on a straight line path or on a straight road. Then we call it as rectilinear motion under translatory motion. Now what about curvilinear motion? Curvilinear motion is a motion where an object is moving along a curved path. Then the body or the object is said to be under curvilinear motion under translatory motion. So when a car is moving in a curved path, then we call it as curvilinear motion. But these both rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion are the part of translatory motion. Now we move to second type of motion, that is rotatory motion. Rotatory motion is basically when the particles of the body describes concentric circles about the axis of motion or the axis of rotation. So most of you played with top. In Hindi we call it as lattu. There it rotates on a fixed point and the body of that top makes concentric circles around the axis of rotation. The same example can be taken over here, but we take another example too, that blades of the fan are in rotating motion about the fixed axis. That means here we can see that the fan is there and this fan is in on position. Then the blades of the fan will rotate around a fixed axis, which has been noted or can be seen over here with the white color dark dot at the center. So these blades, basically the particles of these blades, which are at the same distance apart from the center of the axis of rotation, are making concentric circles around the axis of rotation. So we can say that the blades of the fan are in rotating motion about the fixed axis. The third motion is vibratory motion. So vibratory motion is the motion where the particles moves to and fro about a fixed point. So most of you might be liking music and you might play guitar. So there are strings. If we flip them, then they start vibrating. And the string is also made up of particles. So these particles are vibrating along with the vibration of the string. So we can say that the particles are under vibratory motion. Here we took another example of pendulum of a wall clock. Here the pendulum is also doing the same thing. It is moving to two extremes positions which have been indicated by the two arrows along the curved path as shown in the figure to the left side of the clock. The pendulum is going either to left extreme or to the right extreme one by one, and this motion is oscillatory motion of the pendulum and which is vibratory motion. So the pendulum is taking oscillation time to time in to and fro movement. So we are able to understand the three types of motion. Basically, one is translatory motion. Under this we have two categories, like rectilinear and curvilinear motion. The second is rotatory motion and the third one is vibratory motion. So here we are able to understand now, if the object is in motion, then we can clearly identify in which type of motion that object is. Thank you.